And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the most special episode of The Reluctant Leader. So, I don't even know, Sharifa, if you know this, but it's because of you agreeing to go live with me that pushed me to launch my series, my conversational series. It's been something that I've had on the back of my mind for absolutely ages, but nobody ever pushed me to do it until you agreed to go live with me.
No way. Wow. That's amazing.
So you
Wow.
are officially my first guest. You're officially the first guest on the Reluctant Leader Conversational Stories, which I am really, really excited about. So I'm going to introduce you and let people know a little bit more about you. So, guys, I am joined today by Sharifa, who is the founder of the She Awards UK, which is just, I'm so excited to get into this conversation with you. It's going to be really, really exciting. We're going to be talking a lot about the story behind the She Awards, why she started the She Awards, and the journey she's had over the last few years. So it's going to be really, really exciting. And we're going to be talking about the platform, and she'll be absolutely happy to answer any questions. So if you have got any questions, drop them in the comments below. But I think just look at the StreamYard kind of waiver at the top there, because we won't see your name unless you give permission to see your name. Okay, so a little bit about Sharifa. She's a mum of three and a civil servant from east of London. And she's the co-founder, along with her husband, of the She Awards UK. And obviously, she's so proud of creating this incredible platform that lifts other women. And this interesting fact about her made me really giggle. I couldn't help but giggle at this and just the irony of it. So, her interesting fact is that she's never won an award. And I really think you need to be up for nomination here, because I really need you to think you want one. So, welcome, Sharifa. It's so good to have you here.
Oh, no, thank you, Gajinda. Thank you for having me. I've not done many lives. So thank you for pushing me to do this and speak about the journey behind She Awards. So a little bit about She Awards. It launched in 2018. It was a very significant year. It was the year we celebrated 100 years since women won the right to vote in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah. So I said to my husband, Imdad, who is the other co-founder, and he's in the events industry. I said, why don't we host an event to mark this occasion? It's quite a big thing. So he agreed. He said, yeah, if that's something like you'd like to do, I'll support you with it. And then I thought of, awards. I thought, let's do some awards. Like have a couple of categories and just create a nomination link, which it all started on WhatsApp. I sent it out, the link to my friends and family on WhatsApp, and then they shared it and we got the nominations. We had 3 categories, and we still have those categories: inspirational role model, community champion, and businesswoman.
Wow.
Yeah, so 3 categories. We had a few nominations, and I realized that for some reason people weren't nominating. And I'm like, they were shy. I don't know what it was that was holding people back from nominating people. Hence why now we say nominate yourself. You are your greatest cheerleader. Nominate yourself. So we do get a lot of self nominations, and I think that's absolutely fine.
Oh,
So
amazing.
so there is a story behind that as well. So I was up for an award about a year before we launched the She Awards. And I'm going to tell you, when I walked into that room, Gudinda, I felt like I didn't belong in that room.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Yes. When I
Okay.
walked in, I couldn't get out of there fast enough. My husband was with me. I didn't win the award, but it wasn't about winning the award. I just
Mm.
felt like I didn't fit in. So for me, it was very, very important. My vision was that the She Awards was going to make everyone feel like they belonged. It's about inclusion, diversity, and equality. And that is the main vision. The awards is just one part of it. But I will never, ever forget that feeling. It has stayed with me, and I never want to feel like that again.
Yeah. Wow. And do you know what? And I can honestly say, because I was a guest first at the first ever She
Mm.
Awards I went to. So in 2022, I was invited as a guest to the She Awards, and I really did feel that. And there was so much love in the room. And even though you were sat on your table, actually, you were surrounded by so much love.
Yeah.
Everyone was literally cheering each other on. And it was the most beautiful feeling. And I really feel what you've just said there that you have achieved in those She Awards, because they're absolutely amazing. Now, I want to go back a little bit and ask you, what made you want to start the She Awards? Like, what was that pivotal moment where you thought, do you know what, I'm going to start the She Awards?
Okay, so I've been married 20 years. I have three
Oh,
children,
wow.
like you mentioned earlier. It's that typical story. You get married, you have a child, and that's what happened. I got married, I met my husband at work, we were introduced, we got married. Within a year, I had a child. I joined the civil service straight out of university. I was only meant to be there for 1 year, right? But once I got married and had a child, I just became comfortable, because one thing about the civil service, they are family friendly. So they accommodated me. Every time I had a child, they accommodated me. They let me have part-time hours, they let me be term time. And then I forgot. I forgot why I joined the civil service. It was only meant to be for 1 year and for experience. And then I just settled for convenience.
Mm.
And, for me, it was all about my children first. And I got a little bit lost within that. Along the way, I lost myself.
Yeah.
And I think my husband realized a little bit after I had my third child in 2012 that I wasn't the same person. He he's on a career break. He's also a civil servant, and he started his own business, and I supported with him. He has 4 successful businesses, and I'm not saying I'm jealous. I'm not jealous, but I just felt like we started this journey together, and then
Yeah.
he went and followed his dreams. And I'm not saying my children. I mean, my children are like my priority, but you know. I wanted a little bit more. So
Mhm.
he could see that. So it all started with that. So my husband said to me, why don't you host some women's events? And I did. I did dinner and dances, and we
Oh,
raised money for,
really?
yeah, we did some dinner and
Oh.
dances, and we raised money for charity. And then it was that led me to go a bit further and launch an awards platform. And I think that experience that I had when I went to an awards ceremony, I thought, wow, you know it, it just stayed with me. I thought, are all award ceremonies like this? Because if they are, I never want to be nominated. I never want to go to another one ever again. This is why it was important for me to make sure that She Awards isn't like that.
I absolutely get you. And how do you feel now, 5 years on, looking at what you've created in
Um,
such a short space of time?
if someone had said to me 5 years ago when we launched, "Oh, you'll be talking about it in 5 years' time with Gudinda and talking about your journey," I would have laughed, because it was only meant to be a one-off event. This is what happened, right? So after the event, there were so many hiccups. As you know, with events, there's things always go wrong. The first thing that we got wrong was the date. It was the day of the World Cup final, right? Okay, so I've learned from that. So whenever you host an event, always check that there
Check
aren't
the date.
major.
Yeah.
You take the
Check it's
date.
not like Diwali or something else on that day.
Yes, exactly. So it was the World Cup final, and I think midweek, England, they made it to the semi-final that year,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm and I was probably the only one in England praying that they didn't reach the final for my for my own selfish reasons, because my photographer said, if England make it to the final, I'm going to be in Russia. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah,
Wow. Oh
yeah.
my goodness. But
Right,
thank God
so
they didn't.
thank God they didn't. I know, I'm so bad. So many things went wrong, and I'll be honest with you, even though, like, the room was on fire, there was so much joy and so much like high energy. I did not want to do it again until one person came up to me, and I will never forget it. And he said to me, Sharifa, you need to do this again. This has
Mm.
potential. And I looked at him, I said, really? Because I couldn't see it, because all I could see was all the things that went wrong. And he said, no, 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 you need to continue. And that's what kind of encouraged me to continue. And 5 years later, here we are. First year, 3 categories. We have 14 categories. We get over 1,000 nominations internationally too. We are internationally recognized.
Wow.
That's why I had to add UK, because we don't accept nominations from anywhere outside the UK.
Okay.
So
Amazing. And you started off with 3 categories, and how many are you at now?
I have 14 now.
14 categories. Wow. And I saw something on Instagram just recently. So you've got over 700 nominations so far.
Over 800 now.
Over 800 now.
800,
Wow. And they're
yes.
increasing by how much every day?
Yeah, every day, probably 30, 40, 50. And you'll know, like, we've got another week left. So on the last day, that's when they'll just,
Yeah.
everybody will be on it, like last minute, the last minute, as they'll be like doing
Yeah.
it, not like nominating.
Oh, wow. And do you know one thing? I didn't understand this. So I was up for a nomination earlier this year, and I assumed that everybody that gets nominated gets shortlisted, but they don't.
No, 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 no.
Wow. So out of all of those entries, so you're going to probably hit over 1,000 entries,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
you guys trawl through all of these entries to produce a
yes,
shortlist.
yes.
Wow. I did
Yeah,
not understand that.
yeah. To a maximum of 10 per category. So there's a balance, and it's consistent and fair through the categories. Yes,
I
it's
did not
it's tough.
understand that.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. And for
Yeah.
me, I don't see it as work. I am very, very passionate about it. This is something that I enjoy. So
And
yeah,
what is it about it that you enjoy so much that makes you come back year on year?
you know what? When I see women like me, these ordinary women with extraordinary stories, when they
Mm,
go up on that stage and you see their face, like the shock when their name is called out because
yeah.
they weren't expecting to win, that for me is everything. When I see that face and I think, gosh, and their lives change after that. I see their confidence growing. I
Yeah.
see I see them growing year on and year, because that's what it does. It lifts them up and it gives them that confidence.
It is incredible, and I feel exactly the same way, and I felt, and not taking anything away from She Awards, but the energy and the people in the room, you're humbled. When you walk through that room, you are so humbled because of the amazing, incredible women out there that never, ever, ever shout about themselves, and they never, ever share how much amazing stuff they're doing. And it was just, I was speechless of what I was hearing. And, even though I was nominated, I felt so privileged to be up against the women that I was up against. And I was just like, do you know what? We're all deserving winners. And
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
probably so hard to even shortlist it to 10 per category, because
Yeah,
I'm
it
sure there's
is.
so many amazing
It
stories.
is. It's very, very hard. Even the judges, I couldn't do their job, because I do
Mm,
read through the story, their write-ups, and I just have to make sure that it's fair, and the judges have to declare if they know anyone personally, and they have to be objective and all of that. And when I read, I think, gosh, I couldn't do this. How do you pick? How do you score? How do you do it? And even our judges, if you look at them, they are a reflection of our finalists. They all have a story themselves. They
yes.
all, inspirational women, business women from the community, food. So, it's important to us that they can connect when they are
Mhm.
reading. And for a lot of these women, writing their journey, they're doing it, they're writing it for the
For
first
the
time.
first time,
And
yeah, they're
even that,
sharing it.
if
Yeah.
they're sharing it for the first, even that is a breakthrough for them.
Mm. And what an incredible, incredible platform to allow them to be able to share that story. And there's so many people I've met through my connections with you and the She Awards that I would never have met in
No,
any walk of life.
exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's only because you've got that platform that women are able to share their kind of
yeah,
stories there.
yeah. That's
So,
what it is.
what have been some of your highs?
Um, my highs, okay, obviously nominations. We get the nominations. I'm not having to push and share as much as I used to, because I say this, without the nominations, there wouldn't be a She Awards,
Yeah.
right? We need the nominations. That's the most important part. We need, like, businesses to support us. There was first year, second year, I was pitching to businesses, writing, and I was being aired, ghosted, and all of that. Now, even before I've actually shared the sponsorship package or the opportunity, I've got 6 people waiting to sponsor, because
Amazing.
now
Beautiful.
I feel like they believe in it.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Oh, on top of the world. Sometimes, when when people say, Sharifa, oh, you're this, you're that, I'm quite a really like shy and humble person, and I don't really take compliments for some reason. Maybe I need to change that and believe in myself more. Maybe that's what I need to work on. But when people say it to me, like when I joined your networking event a few weeks ago, I
Yeah.
met someone and she said, "You're the face behind She Awards," and she was just saying all these incredible things, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," hearing it is something else, and I got really emotional because I probably don't see what
What
you
we
and everyone
see.
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what about your family? Like, obviously, you mentioned you co-founded this with your husband and you've got 3 kids. What do they think of you now and think of what you've created?
Well, my kids, around this time of year when She Awards, like the nominations around, this is all I'm doing. They do get a bit not annoyed, but they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's She Awards again. What's going on?" Because me and my husband, especially around the event time, because we're planning the event together, and they hear the arguments as well, because we don't always agree on everything, me and my husband, But then we know our roles. So I deal with one side and he deals with the event, and I'm like, as long as we know where to draw the line and what our
Yeah.
responsibilities are, then we won't clash. But we do, even at the event, nobody sees this. Behind the scenes we are at each other's throats. But then at the end of it, we sit down and then we celebrate together and we say,
Oh,
we
I
did
love
it,
it.
we did it. Yeah.
And it's a real family effort, isn't it? And do
Yeah,
you know what? And
yeah.
it is like, I didn't realize he was your husband because he doesn't take that much of a forward role even on the event. He allows you to be that person, and they must
Yeah.
be so proud of everything that you've achieved.
They are, and my children, yeah, like my daughters especially, I want them to be involved. They help me when I'm organizing the trophies, polishing them, putting the certificates. It's a family thing. They all
Yeah.
get involved. They all get their hands dirty. My son, he stays behind at the event and he helps clean up. So yeah, I think it's brought us together more.
Yeah. So you guys are the team.
Yes,
There is no
yeah.
other team behind She Awards. This
Well,
is
we
a
have got
very
other
much
people
a
like
family.
so my husband's company Sapphire London Group,
Yeah.
so they are our event partners. So obviously he's got his staff and team behind it, but yeah, at the forefront it's us.
Amazing. What did they say? A family who works together stays together, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, so we've spoken about some of the highs. Can you talk to us about some of the lows and some of the challenges that you've experienced over the years while you've been building up this brand?
So many, so many. So first one, the first year, some people actually rejected their nomination and said, who are you? We've never heard of you."
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, rejection, nobody likes to be rejected. I was like, wow, this award doesn't mean anything to them, because they've not heard of it. Obviously, we were new. Yeah, for that for me was like a big blow when somebody was like, "No, I'm not interested." I'm like, "Somebody's
Mm,
nominated you."
yeah.
So that's one. But again, like I said, at the end of the event, when somebody came and said to me, you know, this is so special, you need to continue, you need to keep doing it. And all the women that won their awards, and it changed their lives. For me, I wasn't going to let that one or two people stop me. And then the
Mm,
second year, obviously, sponsors, we depend on small businesses to help fund the event. There's been years where we've had to pay for it ourselves,
yeah.
which is okay because, as you know, this is how it works in
Wow.
business.
Have you
Yeah.
really?
Yes. For a couple of years, we had to, cover some of the costs ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah. And what else? There's so many things. I think you've come to like the last two, but there's been like, I don't know, the third year or the fourth year, there's been times when I've been in the event and I've wanted to cry and leave because there were things going
Wow.
wrong, like the script, wasn't right. Because again, I do the script, I do the slides, I do all of that myself in my own time. And I felt like I failed because I made mistakes on the script. There were issues going on in the kitchen where the cooker wasn't working, delays with the food. Obviously nobody else knows this, and I'm the one that knows, and I'm getting it in my ear from everyone. And I would just sit there. I literally wanted to burst into tears and just walk out, and I never want to do it again. That's
Wow.
how I felt.
Can I say you just look like a swan?
Oh,
No one knows what's going on underneath the
bless
water, but
you,
you
bless
look
you.
like a graceful swan on the day. and no one would ever be able to tell any of this stuff that's going on.
Oh,
And I
bless you.
should know, I've
No.
been in events as well, and I know how much happens on the day of an event, but you really, really hide it well. And I think, Sharifa, this is testament. You've had all these challenges, you've not made money, but you've still kept on going. And I think that's
Yeah.
testament to your belief in the She Awards.
Exactly. It's my vision. And for
Mm,
me, it's not about the money. It's about, I want it to grow. I want it to change more lives. I want more women to be recognized. I
yeah,
want people, a lot more of their stories to be heard. So I've just kept on going and just kept my faith in it. And I
yeah,
thought, I don't, if nobody else, at least I believe in it. And, 5 years on, like I said to you, people want us to sponsor it now. We
yeah.
are getting the nominations. No one's rejecting it. If anything, they want it more so now than ever before. A lot of people have said we want this award, in particular the She Awards. It means a lot to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amazing.
the
And
other downside is not every, yeah, sorry.
no, go.
No, the other downside is not everyone wins. Okay, and I don't feel great. And we are probably the only awards platform that gives out more than one. We have more than one winner. You've seen it for yourself. And I've been
Mm,
told off like there should only be one winner. And I said, who says who? A man? There should only be one winner, right? I make the rules, and if I believe that there should be more than one winner, and I try and give as many awards as possible. So I don't always feel great because, some people have come back to me and said, it would have been nice to win, but it's okay. And I say to them, come back next year,
yeah.
come back next year.
And you know what? It is true. Like I didn't win. The category was that I was in. I didn't win the
Mm.
award, but I did get a highly commended.
Yeah,
And I
even
can
that's an
honestly
achievement.
say, just being shortlisted is
Yeah.
an achievement. And actually taking a step back, just being nominated,
Yes.
honestly, just that somebody else recognizes that
Yeah.
you're doing an incredible job, or whether you recognize it yourself, just that nomination should be enough to know that you're right on the right path and doing something really, really amazing. And
Absolutely. And I
and
say
I did
this.
want to mention as well, like you mentioned, you want more women to be recognized. And one of the things I did want to highlight, that it's actually real women. These aren't influencers. These aren't Instagrammers. They're not people with really massive followings. They're just real women like you and I.
Yeah.
Just real women doing normal, everyday things.
Yeah. Because I don't think there are many platforms out there for women like you and me.
No, normal people.
Normal people, ordinary, like I
Mm,
said, ordinary women with
yeah.
extraordinary lives.
Amazing. Now, you also mentioned a vision. Your vision. What is your vision? What is
Oh
your
gosh.
vision?
See, I haven't shared this with many people. Again, like I said, I want it to keep growing, keep growing. And I want it to get onto mainstream TV. I know that's thinking like big, big, but you know what?
Let's make
That's
it
my goal, and
happen.
I'm gonna aim for it.
So, Sharifa, I'm a quantum coach as well, right? We can't imagine something that hasn't already happened. We
Right.
just can't. So, if you're already imagining that this is going to be on TV, guess what? It's happened already.
Oh,
It's
oh,
happening, and you're just taking the steps to make it a reality in this world. So, just know that that vision of yours is going to happen.
oh, thank you. That is the aim. And like I said, I haven't said it out loud. I haven't even said it to my husband. Right? He doesn't
I
even
think
know.
I think you should share it out loud more often, because you just never know what will
No.
happen. You just never know. And let's set those intentions that this is going to be on TV, and it's going to be one of those award ceremonies to look out for. Would you still present it if it was on TV?
Me personally,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. So, so I am very shy. I'm an introvert, right? For me to like even speak. So one of the things, fun facts about me is I'm very quiet. Yeah, I grew up in a big family. There were 9 of us, 9 brothers and sisters. So I was always in someone's shadow. I was always labeled quiet. Nobody even knew who I was. I had very few friends, and I think that's just stayed with me. I mean, I have a lot of friends now, but only have a handful of like good friends. And for me to be on TV, even for me to deliver a speech, it does take a lot for me to actually get on that stage. And
Do you
somebody
know?
did say to me, Sharifa, you don't need all these like celebrities to host. You can do it yourself. And I'm like, maybe actually you've actually planted something in my like you planted a seed. So maybe, who knows? Who knows?
Maybe, just
Maybe.
maybe. And you know, one of the things that Sharifa, obviously, I've known you now for a little while,
Mm.
so I know your personality. And I think one of the things that was surprising to me was not even how normal you are. It's not even that you're normal. It's actually that you're maybe a bit under normal because you're shy, because you're
Yeah.
introverted, because you're all of this stuff. But yet, you have been able to launch and continue with this absolutely amazing platform. And I don't know if you realize how inspiring that is for other women to actually get to know you as a person and what you're able to do, so that can inspire them to carry on doing what they're doing.
Oh, actually, you yeah, you might yeah. So I did a photo shoot with you
Yes,
recently,
you
and
did.
one
Yes.
so
The up level is starting.
so one of my things to do is actually share my story on the page. Like we share everybody else's, it's only right and it's only fair that I share mine too. So I will. It's one of my things to do that I will get around to sharing my story. So people can connect and they can look at me and think, gosh, you don't have to be the loudest in the room. You know, you don't have to be outgoing. You don't have to have a big following. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, go for it. You can do it. You just have to believe in it. You don't have to be a certain way.
And even the winners, even the people that won, and I had the opportunity to obviously meet a lot of the women that won this year when I was there. And they are just normal women achieving amazing things, just like you, Sharifa. You're a normal person. And
Yeah.
like we said, maybe a little less than normal
Yeah.
because you're shy and you're all of these things. But you have gone and achieved amazing things. And so have the women that go on to win. They're just normal
Yeah.
people that have just gotten over some extraordinary stuff to actually achieve what it is that they're achieving. And it just
Yeah.
goes to show that you just don't know what you can achieve if you just put your mind to it.
Mind to it, exactly. And believe in it. You have to
Yeah.
believe in it.
So, what advice would you give to somebody else? So, if somebody was watching today and they had this idea that they'd been sitting on, and everyone's like, are you crazy? No one's going to want to come. No one's going to want to do this. What advice would you give somebody out there?
Just do it. Just go for it. Take the risk. You know, don't get distracted by all the noise. You know, I always say, stay focused, stay on your own lane and keep your eye on the ball. Don't worry about anyone else and what they're doing and how well they're doing. If you have a dream, go for it because only you can make it happen.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. And you lasted through lockdown as well, right? So, even while lockdown was going on.
Yeah, so that was one of my lows. That's it. So obviously in 2021, we were like, what do? We can't host in-person events. You know, do we just pause it or do we honor it? So I had a chat with my husband and then we had a brainwave because everything was just going as normal, but on like virtually online work. People were working from home, people were hosting events online. So why can't we do it? And we did. And it was
Wow.
successful. Yeah.
That is amazing. So, there's always a way around it, right? There's always
Always
a way around the problem.
there's a solution to every problem.
Amazing. And what has kept you going? So through all these challenges, what has kept you going throughout all of that to think, do you know what, this isn't the universe telling me that I shouldn't be doing this? What was it that kept you going?
It's the satisfaction that I get. I get a satisfaction from like I said earlier, seeing these women,
Mm,
receiving their trophies, going on to doing better things. Some of them have gone on to like they've gone on to be on like in the newspaper, they've been on TV, they've gone and got MBEs, and that is satisfaction for me that
wow.
I kind of made that happen. I had a
Yeah.
part of that.
And it is. And you know, and like you said, some of the winners, the boost that they get, not even just the winners, I think even the nominations, the shortlisted, they get such a boost. And you can see that
Yeah.
across everything, like their social media, how they show up, they just get that boost.
Yeah, and I think now, also going back to what keeps me going is I think the women like not expect it, but now I feel like I have to do it now. I have to continue with it.
There's no going back now, is there?
There's no going back. There's no coming back. I owe it to them.
So, talking of going back,
Okay.
if you didn't have the She Awards, what do you think you would be doing?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I have not got because it's when I was younger, I didn't have a dream that I'm going to have an awards platform or I'm going to do events or dinner and dances or anything like that. You know, I've always had a thing about helping and supporting people. So when I was at
Mm,
school, I wanted to be a careers advisor, and then I wanted to be a social worker. So it kept changing. So then, you know, I joined the civil service, and then, you know, my career, my ambitions just all went out the window. You know, my family came first, and I really didn't actually give thought to it as to what I would have done if I didn't have my family, for example.
yeah. Amazing. And then now you've got the She Awards and they're here to stay. It's just going to get bigger and better and hopefully on TV one day as well.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed.
So let's just talk about the categories quickly.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the new categories people can expect this year?
Yeah, so again, it's always a risk when we introduce new categories because you don't know if we're going to reach the right audience, get the nomination. So I think the big one is the glass ceiling breaker.
Mm.
So the glass ceiling breaker is just another word for that, for barriers. You know, when women like, you know, especially from, you know, ethnic backgrounds, when they are held back at work because of their gender, you know, they can't get to a certain level, director of senior positions because of that, whether it's in work or business. So there's glass ceiling breaker categories for those women who have actually broken those barriers and have reached the top. Another one, professional woman. So professional woman, I think a few people got confused. So your professional women are your doctors, you know, who have a specific qualification, your teachers, your nurses. Because I think last year we had a few of those in the businesswoman category, and I think they got a
Ah,
bit lost, you know, in that
no,
category.
yeah,
Hence why I thought it's better to split it up. There's media. I think we have a lot more women in the media industry
yes.
now. So I thought, yeah, it's important to actually have a category to represent them.
Amazing. And just
Um,
to reiterate, this isn't just Asian awards.
no, diverse by default. I mean, I have had people say you have a lot of Asian, like women from South Asian background, but that has just been by default. Maybe it's
Yeah.
me, maybe where I've promoted it. That's probably why. But no, we want to diversify it. We want women from all
Open to all.
backgrounds. Everyone, yes.
And are there any categories that you would like some more nominations for?
Yes, okay. That's a good question. So I can tell you which one is very popular this year. Inspirational role model. I think,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
33.
amazing. That's actually really amazing
Yeah, so
that we've got that many inspiring role models out there.
yes, it's usually businesswoman. So I think there's 33% of the nominations are
That's a lot.
inspirational role models, and I think about 20% is businesswomen. So we always get like it's either businesswomen that we get a lot of categories or inspirational roles. They're the popular ones, but they've been there with us from the beginning. Those two
Yeah.
categories, we started with those two categories. So I think the media we don't have as many nominations that we'd like in that category. Media, women
So,
in
can you
media.
just expand a little bit about the media category then? Is that just for women in media?
So women, when I say media, I'm talking about your presenters, like journalists, editors, women that work in magazine, you know, any social media, not the social, any media platform.
Okay, mainstream media and not
Mainstream.
social media,
No, it doesn't have to be mainstream. It doesn't have to be mainstream.
but not social media.
Not social media. I
Okay.
don't know actually because I've not really given it that much thought. So social media, maybe we could
So
actually,
maybe we could put the nomination in. So if somebody wants to
yeah,
nominate somebody on social media,
media,
and then obviously it's up to the judges to see whether they make the
exactly.
shortlist, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, exclusive. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you wanted to share about the She Awards?
Uh, it's been a journey. It's been a difficult journey. I'm not going to lie and say it's been easy. It's been a roller coaster. There's been highs, there's been lows. But like I said to you, for me, it means a lot. I have I don't see it as work. I spend a lot of my like my own time doing it, like purely because I enjoy it. It's me giving back to other women. So, like I said earlier, if you have a goal, if you have a vision, just do it. Just take that risk
Amazing.
and go for it. Because if you don't, you'll never know.
I love that. Thank you, Sharifa. And a few questions to just to get to know you a little bit more
Oh
now.
gosh.
What do you actually do the day after the She Awards?
Oh, okay. So so when I come home after the awards, obviously the social media goes bonkers, right? So it just goes bonkers. So me and my husband, we comes home, we don't eat. We don't get to eat, by the way, right? Who eats at their own event? Nobody.
No one. It's
So
like your wedding, isn't it? It's like your wedding day. No one
yes,
eats.
exactly. So he'll bring food and whatever's left over, if there's any left over, so we'll sit there, we'll eat, we'll have a catch up. I'll go on social media. I'll probably go to bed very, very late, probably 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I wake up early, and then the whole day I just sit back, reflecting, just catching up on emails, messages, social media for like, it takes me 3 days to recover. At least
Oh,
three
wow.
days. At least 3 days.
And what do you do to actually relax? So while you are going through this stressful period of organizing the event, going through nominations, all that stuff, what helps Sharifa relax?
Walking.
Ah,
I
nice. Okay.
yes,
Mm.
like I only had this interview with you today. I call it an interview. It's not an interview. I felt
It's
like
not
an
an
interview.
interview, is it?
I'm an employment advisor, by the way. Another fact about me. So I work for the civil service, but I support people with employment and training. Right. So I thought, right, okay, I've got this. Why do I keep saying interview? I've got this. Oh, what do you call it? This what would you call this meeting or whatever it is? So I thought, right, I'm going to go out. I enjoy
Chat.
walking.
It's a chat.
Chat, yeah, chat,
Yeah.
conversation, yeah, right. So I'm going to go out for a walk, and I walk anyway on a regular basis when the weather's nice. But I took a longer walk today, and I put my headphones on, and I love old school Bollywood music.
So do I. What era?
90s. I grew up in the
Yeah.
90s.
I grew
Yeah,
up in the 90s as well.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the best time for Bollywood.
So that's what I do. That helps me. It helps calm my nerves a little bit and relax. And a bath. I didn't have the bath today, but yeah.
Oh, amazing. And what else is in store, Sharifa? What else can we expect from you specifically, not just from the She Awards? You've shared your vision with that, but what vision do you have for yourself for the future and what we can expect?
Hopefully to see me more. I mean, I'm hoping to grow more with the She Awards, and it has helped me develop and grow as a person. And I have, like, me sharing this with you today. It's a big step,
It's a big
but
step for both of
but
us.
it's, yeah, but it's part of growth. So hopefully, I'm hoping like it's going to help me grow as a person.
Yeah. 100%. And I was actually really surprised when you agreed to say yes, because I was like, what? Because then it pushed me as well to do this. And I was like, you know what, Sharifa, let's do this together.
I
Let's
know.
both of us do this
Yeah,
together because it's all part of both of ours growth. And if
yeah,
we don't do it, how are we going to inspire other women to come forward and share their stories as well?
exactly. Face the fear and just do it anyway. And there's something that I heard a few weeks ago. Someone said, you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Amazing. Well, we've had a few comments come in. So
Oh,
Kilna has just been following you throughout and just sharing how absolutely incredible you are. I'm not sure who this person is, but amazing journey. Well done, Sharifa, and
oh.
very, very inspiring. And I think it is. And I think, when more and more people hear this story and really hear how normal you are and how you've overcome all these obstacles and achieve what you have, it's going to be really amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And here's a
I'm just,
suggestion for you. You can live stream the awards this year.
oh, that is a good idea. I think we did the second year, no, the first year, and there was an issue with the music. And I think it was taken off. But that's a good suggestion, and we will look into it. I'm sure there's a way around it.
Amazing. If you are the person who made that comment, do drop your name in the comments so we can see who that is. Unfortunately, the system I'm using, I only get Facebook user, so I can't see
Oh,
who it is. But Kilna's there again. What an incredible journey,
oh,
and
thank
so,
you.
so humble, which is honestly the best word to use for Sharifa. I've seen
Oh.
you in person. We connect online a lot, and now we're having this chat, and I can say you are the same person throughout all of those.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you, Vidinda. You've pushed me without you even knowing. You've pushed me. Just I've been following you for a while, and there's things that you do in the background. You probably don't even realize how many lives you're changing in the process.
Yeah. Probably, and I think that's probably goes for both of us, right? That we probably just by doing what we do
Yeah.
and not giving up on it, it just validates other women out there to be able to go and do that kind of stuff as well. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Sharifa. If anyone is watching and has got any questions for Sharifa, just drop them in the comments and I can ask them for you guys. But it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, Sharifa. It's been so amazing to talk to you. Thank you for being so open and so honest with your story and your journey. It's honestly been so heartwarming.
Oh, no, thank you so much, Vidinda. Thank you for having me. Like I said, I think, it does help talking about it and sharing it. And it's helped me overcome something else today. So,
Yeah.
no, thank you for that. Thank you for this platform. And I hope you do really, really well with it.
Thank you so much. And thanks for being our first guest.
Yay! I feel so privileged and honored because that I will always be remembered as your first
Yeah,
guest.
you will.
Yeah.
I will never forget this moment. I will literally never forget this moment. And we are going to end the call now, but I just want to check, how can people find out more about the She Awards, find out more about you, find out more about the nominations? What can they do to find out more?
Okay, so follow us on Instagram and Facebook at She Awards UK. We have a website, all the website details are on there, or you can pop us an email. Again, it's all on our Facebook and Instagram page. You can contact us via email. Be me that's responding. I'm the person, by the way. If anyone's following us on Instagram, it's me behind
You do
behind the
get
Instagram.
Sharifa. Yeah. If you
It's
message it, you get
me. That's
Sharifa.
you get me. Yes.
Amazing. And nominations are open until
15th of October, and we're not extending it. So this is your last chance. 8, 9 days to go. So, even if it's for you, I say just nominate yourself. If you
just
think
do
that you
it.
want your story to be heard, if you want
Mm.
to, be recognized, just do it. Just do it.
Just get yourself out there. And She Awards, the awards ceremony usually happens around March time, right?
So International Women's Day. Because
International
again,
Women's Day.
it's a significant day. It's a
Yeah,
celebratory day, celebrating women. So we couldn't really think of a better day
to do
to
it.
actually
Yeah.
host it. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I'm so excited and really, really excited to see where the future of the She Awards goes. So thank you so, so much, Sharifa. Thank you for everyone that joined us on the live. Thank you for everyone that's going to be watching this on the replay. And we shall see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye. Bye.